is even more calm, more stress-free than even he started with. So very significant, published. Next. I love this study. This is the one that just inspires me. There was a test done. There was a special school for what they call special children, learning disorders. And so these young kids have been kicked out of public schools or private schools because they get in trouble all the time and they can't learn and whatever. And so what's interesting is that instead of, or in addition to what they've scored in math and English and all that, they have these markers such as not on task, trouble following directions, work not completed, etc. And so if you can imagine a big school with two big hallways, one hallway and two big bunch of classrooms, and we put our circuitry in these clocks, and so the teachers had no idea what was happening, the students had no idea what was happening, they just saw a clock showing up in their schoolroom, and they continued learning and being irritable and whatever, and the teachers kept doing their report cards just like they always did. And then at a certain point, they switched the clocks. One clock or one set of clocks had SRT, had the technology. The other set of clocks did not, so we switched them. And what happened was that this is just one example. There's all kinds of data, but what happened was that the classrooms, the students that had this natural energy in their environment, not on task, active unit with SRT, 67 compared to 128, a difference of 48%. Trouble following directions, a difference of 51%. Work not completed. All these kids started to improve. There was no additional teaching. There was no additional philosophy given. There was no additional education. This is what I'm saying. It was already there in them. And somehow their innate ability to enjoy life, which, you could say if somebody's outbursting or, these are, from time to time we all have to have outbursts, but overall, these kids seem to be enjoying life more. All these markers improve, except this one, by the way. They have problems interacting with peers. That's the only one, 43, and it's pretty close, but 43 with SRT, 41 without, and we saw some other differences like that. I'm thinking, wonder why that's the only one that keeps showing up that's going up instead of going down. Well, problems interacting with peers includes somebody standing up for themselves and saying, don't push me anymore. Don't push me anymore. So that child, this should be amended because in my opinion, the ability to draw a boundary, the ability to draw a boundary is a good thing a lot of times, isn't it not? So the shy child that never stood up for her or himself was able to say, don't push me anymore. And therefore, the other child said, well, I'm having trouble. So this is an example of natural law, natural intelligence, improving the quality of life. We're starting at the level of the schools. What would happen if all of our schools had natural energy in them? What would happen if all of our nurseries, right here, at Penn State with Rusty's lab, we apply these energies to silica carbide. I want to say something about this because it's a really big leap now. We're going to inorganic things. So with silica carbide, for instance, we create a whole new polymer. With these natural energies, what's going on there? Everything, in our opinion, has a field of intelligence that's regulating its output, that's regulating its expressed value, that's regulating its potential. So if you connect more clearly with the field around any element, literally, periodic chart of elements, you will have a greater output or a greater expressed value of that element. And it's revolutionary, and Rusty just came at the right time because he's the one to ask the ramifications of this in materials, SRT on materials. So we're playing and we're just seeing. We don't know really what this means. We know what the school thing means. We know what but this is an area that is so provocative because it's the same technology, just connecting connecting with a higher state of potential. We've done all these things. I'm going to throw out some very controversial things. And because I don't have enough time to answer questions, I'll just sneak out and won't have to say, how on Earth did we affect nuclear decay rates? How did we affect etching on copper, restricted enzymes, all these things that are just amazing. Nuclear decay with radioactive thorium at Stanford University under controlled studies with Dr. William Tiller in the early 90s. There's a technology that is available to all of us, and it's just about connecting up. And next, where on earth did I come up with this? Well, certainly I did not discover this technology. It discovered me. The short story is I was given 6 months to live in 1979, and here I am. This technology, I literally stumbled upon it. And when I realized the potential of this technology, I was actually a musician playing saxophone for the Beach Boys. How many know the Beach Boys? All right, baby boomers. And so I left in search of my own good vibrations. And I discovered from 1979 to 1985, rigorously learning everything I could about ancient codes, geometries, that these precious so-called frequencies, geometric relationships, are in our bodies, in our biofield. They're in ancient art. They're in crystals. This is a crystal. Look at how beautiful nature is. Look at how artistic. It's not a great picture, but you could imagine. This is just in your body. This is sodium chloride, right? It's crystal. And this is from a Paleolithic piece of art. Why do we think something is beautiful when the sun comes down and why do we all agree that's beautiful? Because we are resonating with those basic fundamental frequencies of life, potential. And when we see it and we feel it, we are in coherence with it. And life, the value of life goes up. And I'd like to end with, some of you don't read anything yet. Don't read anything. Some of you have seen this. I never tire of using this example. What's so exciting now is that we're beginning to do research at Penn State Pediatric Ward with Dr. Charles Palmer. He works with premature babies. He's seen this phenomenon. We're working on getting these preemies more support, more of their connection with the laws of nature, with their inherent birthright. So I want to get out so everybody can see this. So here's a couple of premature babies. This picture is from an article called The Rescuing Hug. The article details the first week of life of a set of twins. Apparently, each was in their respective incubators, and one was not expected to live. A hospital nurse fought against hospital rules and placed the babies in one incubator together. When they were placed together, the healthier of the two threw an arm over her sister in an endearing embrace. The smaller baby's heart rate stabilized and her temperature returned to normal, and she is alive today. Who taught her? Who said, you know, you have this healing? It's innate. It's precious. We all have it. And it's time that we rejoice in that and celebrate it and bring it out. That's what Thai Sophia is all about. Is it not, Bob?
Yeah. It's about the nurse with the courage.
That's right. And it's about the nurse. And it's about us sharing this information. It's about all of you. Thank you very, very much.
Because in Japan,